Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and a subscriber asked me a question in the video yesterday talking about breastfeeding where I mentioned vaccinations. Alright, I don't know if it was a troll question or not, and it went into a little further discussion down below, but instead let me just jump into some discussion on this. People ask silly things like this, maybe because they really are willfully ignorant, and I'm going to pretend this is a serious question. Now, a lot of people were commenting down below, yeah, hepatitis is transferred through IV drug use and having sex. Children aren't doing these things, and if they are, then there's a bigger problem going on than disease. All right, this is again ignorance. Just because in adults that's the primary means through which hepatitis is contracted doesn't mean that that's the primary means by which it is contracted in children. Stop and think about body fluids and ways that you can get hepatitis and realize the behaviors of children, and particularly children in group settings, and I think it becomes very apparent how easy it is to get a massive hepatitis outbreak at an entire daycare, to where every single child just about at one daycare could be contaminated by one child with hepatitis A, fecal matter. Now, a lot of people are going to say, oh, that couldn't happen. They have clean methods there. Well, yes, when a daycare worker changes a diaper, they're supposed to wash their hands very thoroughly with soap and water. But you know what? A lot of times these people are not always as good as you would expect them to be. They're not always going to do those things. Maybe only 80% of them follow the rules. What happens is they could get hepatitis on their hands, which they don't wash their hands well enough to stop the infection, and they walk around and spread it around and get it all over every single child they touch. If they get any of that fecal matter, touches something that child puts in their mouth, they touch that child's hand. Children put their hands in their mouth. Little toddlers put their hands in their mouth. They put everything in their mouths. So they walk around and touch stuff and contaminate it. They could infect every single child in the room. It has happened. Even worse, a lot of people who don't see how this could happen clearly have never been around small children. Small children play with their poop. They take their own diapers off, they play with it, they smear it all over the place. One child with hepatitis A gets happy with his diaper, plays with it, gets it all over the place, all over the other children, bam, all of a sudden you've got 20 children with hepatitis A. And this is not something that's hypothetical. This sort of stuff has actually happened, to where places where we don't have the hepatitis vaccine, or even before we had the vaccine for it, entire daycares full of children have been infected because of one child playing with their poop. You get a hepatitis A outbreak. So when people ask something like, why do they need that? Well, to prevent entire daycares from being infected from one child with hepatitis A. It has happened in the past. This isn't uncommon for it to happen. There's a reason that the vaccinations that we have now have been selected. And people really need to educate themselves with real medical information and not buy into this online anti-vax movement. I know a lot of people involved in it. I'm going to have subscribers who are involved in it. They get upset. I know they mean well. They mean well, but they are ignorant, and they bought into a hype that is actually causing harm. And it's going to cause harm to their children, the children of others, because they're promoting something that's not true, because they did a little bit of research on the internet from people who are against this stuff. And while well-meaning, because we can mean well and have the best of intentions, and our actions can cause massive harm unknowingly to us. And the anti-vax movement is definitely a case of this. And by the way, if I have any medical doctors or medical students who want to chime in on this, please remember to comment down below, guys, so that you guys can kind of make people understand, because there's going to be a lot of people who come in here and attack this video. But that's really all I have to say on that today. If you guys enjoyed this video, please remember to click like down below. It is so appreciated if you do so. Subscribe if you haven't, and share this video with others. So I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.